Alrighty, well, we are loaded into map number 1 here, and over in the bottom left, in the pink. Wait,
As
is
he's
that
blue,
right?
actually, in the bottom left. Yeah. No, it's
he's blue. Oh my goodness, my colors are messed up. I'm so confused. This is MacSed.
Yeah. We did it. And in the top right here, in the blue, pink. He's in the pink. It is Firefly.
I think I just learned I'm a little bit colorblind in this game.
That's okay, mate. Luckily, you're not StarCraft blind. You're still an excellent commentator.
Yeah, I think the thing I liked about the 4-gate days was the micro battles. But I guess that's not so different from what it is now, really, like any mirror matchup. However, we've moved from Colossus Headbutt to Disruptor Headbutt, basically.
I like Disruptor Headbutt, and I wish
Yeah,
it happened more.
it is
I
a
feel
little
like
bit
it doesn't
more-
have it enough.
It packs more of a punch than Colossus Headbutt for sure. But I feel like it's just so stressful if you're a Protoss player trying to engage another Protoss army, because you have to do that whole dance until both sides' disruptor shots are exhausted before you can really commit. But yeah, so classic PvP.
Oh,
We're gonna
yeah.
open up with some hidden tech.
We certainly are, and with the pylon this far out, I think it actually might just be the I'm going to put a pylon out in the map and make you freak out pylon. Like, it actually might not have any tech on it for a minute here. Otherwise, Firefly would be leaving his probe by that pylon to build something.
Yeah.
That's my thought process here. Now,
You're
this
right.
second, or rather not the second, the third pylon is going to be in the main base here of Firefly. And it looks like MacSed wants to expand.
Yeah.
Oh, you jerk.
Very cheeky. Well, pretty much mirror builds aside from that extra pylon there. The other thing there, I guess, is because they're both scouting each other. You know, MacSed can roll around there all day, and he already knows that if he doesn't see anything more from Firefly, then something's been hidden somewhere. So yeah, nice idea there for him to just stash the pylon away. Can always use it later. But yeah, just a bit of early game harassment here as those Adepts shade past those Stalkers. And might try and get up the ramp there just for a bit of vision. Ooh.
Denied. The Adepts getting, well, their base movement speed is not as fast as the Stalkers, so they will get a few zappy zaps at the backside of those Adepts on the way through. Now, MacSed's pylon looks to be an actual proxy. We'll see. We'll keep it in that. Check on that one. Look at that mini map. Both players at the moment are expanding and also getting their shield batteries up, so it is safety play at the moment for both players. And having pylons out on the map is the other added benefit of that is that you can use them to warp in later. Like if you go for a Dark Templar or something like that, just having them appear out of nowhere. But usually at that point, you've got a warp prism, so the pylon is just kind of a early game mind game. MacSed's pylon at like the 5:30 location is the one that's got me scratching my head a little bit. I wonder what he's going to do with that.
Yeah, time will tell. Looks like Firefly heading out here with his Stalkers and Adepts, looking for a bit of a poke at the front. There's a couple of sentries here, but I feel like the firepower is actually in Firefly's favor here. So should there's Adepts coming in now with that extra warp in, not so much. He has to be real careful.
Yeah, the sentries here from MacSed are going to make it a little bit tough for Firefly to take a favorable engagement, thanks to force fields, thanks to Guardian Shield, that sort of thing. And also the fact that he's got shield batteries to fight at as well. Ooh, MacSed, he's already lost a Stalker here. Oh god, he's lost 2 Stalkers. MacSed just got way too far out in the open and he got his hand bitten there by the army of Firefly. An overcharged shield battery should keep him alive, but that was definitely a blunder from MacSed to lose those units.
Yeah, not ideal, especially in a game like this where single units count. And those Stalkers again, taking some hits. The Sentry in trouble now. The shield battery really being the MVP there, keeping those alive. And Firefly able to pick off some workers there as well. Brilliantly done.
Unfortunately for MacSed, he's completely walled himself in with the shield battery. So we've got a bunch of probes that were rallied into the natural to start mining off of it. But he's got to kill the shield battery now.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit flustered here with the harassment from Firefly, who has kind of had everything going his way this game so far. Hasn't lost really too much. And continuing to probe up there, going into Immortal production as well.
We are seeing resonating glaives here from MacSed, so he's going to rely on Adepts here as a bit of a front line, as a bit of a meat shield. Meanwhile, speaking of Adepts, Firefly is coming on in for some damage here, and he's finding a good chunk of it as well. Oh man, if you can just shade into Adepts and get anything between like 4 to 5 probes, you are laughing here. Meanwhile, either MacSed trying to do the same thing on the other side of the map against Firefly, but the shield battery is good, keeps the probes alive.
And it looks like MacSed may be wandering out a little bit here. Might be thinking about the next move for himself there, looking for any hidden stuff around here. Probably where he'll take his third base when it comes to it. Otherwise, just continuing, making a whole lot of gateways. 5 coming up, in fact. And adding on that Immortal with the Adept Glaives coming in as well. Could potentially do some damage here. I
think that Firefly is about to be attacked by just a flood of Adepts with the Prism here. So the MacSed is going to grab everything and go for a push. There might be a third Nexus behind it, but I doubt it. I think it's just going to be a ton of Adepts here from MacSed, and he's going to try and just flood the natural of Firefly with tons of units. You know, the Immortals and the Sentries, they are great against dealing with Stalkers and that sort of thing, other Immortals, but against a big ball of Adepts, they actually aren't that good. You have Force Fields, I suppose, Guardian Shield, which matters, of course, but the Immortals kind of suck against an army like that. So MacSed is beginning the push, heading through the middle of the map here.
Yeah. I mean, even seeing how that went just before. Oh. That might be me.
That ain't me.
Close StarCraft. The game's just dead.
Oh,
oh my
you've
God.
crashed?
Sorry, team. I think so.
Ah, rip. Womp womp. Guys.
Give us 1 sec here, guys. Just gonna kick myself out of StarCraft.
We've lost that one over there.
All right, we're good. We keep going.
Oh, we're back?
Luckily, we have a live feed, so...
We do, yes. All right. That is actually, you know, that's brilliant. We've got this software here, so we can actually... I still have my client commentator. I was afraid I'd have to solo cast there for a second.
No, it's all good. I've been seeing a little bit of like FPS lag, and I wasn't sure if I was losing StarCraft or if it was just the game doing game things, because I hadn't seen any lag on the feed. So I was crossing my fingers, but the gamble didn't pay off, boys.
It's all right. Bit of a gamble. All right, we're getting back in there. Let's go. Don't want to miss any of the action. Goodbye, Zeph. We'll miss you.
Thanks, man. Alrighty. So up comes MacSed here. And there's the first big warp in on front lines. It looks like Firefly decently well prepared for this. There goes the Hallucinate Phoenix, and he does spot this coming in.
Ooh, nice Force Fields of the Prism to juggle things in the back line. And it looks like both players at a little bit of a standoff there. It's Force Fields fest right now. And this is the power of the Adepts. They don't care about your Force Fields. They actually have a huge shade in the main base. I don't know if MacSed wants to let that shade finish, though, because he kind of needs the Adepts down here. And yeah, he cancels the shade. Lets the Adepts stay as his front line here for the back line of the Immortals and the Stalkers. And the overcharged shield battery does expire here for Firefly. So that is the power spike of his defense. Now it's time for MacSed to try and overwhelm. He has got a ton of Warp Gates worth of Adepts. 8 Warp Gates of Adepts. Production coming on in. The Stalkers blink on top. Target firing down the Immortals. He gets both of them here. Will it be enough from Firefly, though? MacSed still has so many Adepts. I don't think Firefly has enough. The numbers are just not there. And I think this has been a very good attack from MacSed that's going to pay off for him here.
Yeah, starting to do a bit of that probe damage there. Racking up a few kills as MacSed able to target down a lot here. I mean, Firefly is just struggling to kind of get a grip on this, and there's so much more on the front lines. He's targeting down the shield batteries even, and Firefly just struggling to get together a defense. He really only has Stalkers here, starting to warp in some Zealots as well to tank for those, but look at that, the shades just go right past his defense there.
Yeah, I mean, and these Adepts are high enough in count to actually directly engage the Stalkers. Oh, overcharged shield battery, maybe not now. They're going to pull away. They're going to try and pull away from that shield battery, just rely on the shades to try and save a few of these Sisters of Battle, and then just go back into the natural, just shading straight through those shields, continuing to ping pong between the main and the natural, making things awkward, making things hard for Firefly to actually defend. I mean, Blink Stalkers are fantastic here, and there aren't any Immortals to fight back. But just sheer adept numbers here, Zeph. Will it be enough for MacSed to actually break his back? It's getting harder and harder for him to actually finish up. But we can see that in the middle of the map, he is slowly rallying Immortals through the middle of the map. He's even bringing the Prism to the back line to be able to potentially juggle it around as well. So I think that Firefly has lost his Prism. Oh, no, he's still in the main base. Excuse me.
Yeah. And he's just continuing with this onslaught here. I don't know. I think Firefly is doing a great job of trying to hold on, but ultimately he's just not really gaining a whole lot of ground here. And with the fact that he doesn't have any Immortals available and the Warpins are right in his face, he's just slowly getting worn down here and sitting on 33 probes. Even if he does defend against this, he's not quite got the same economy as his opponent. Nice target down there on the Immortal, though.
It was nice, but guess what, Zeph? Guess what's walking through the middle of the map and about to join into the fight? That's right. Another Immortal.
Yep.
I do believe that Firefly is dead. He's just trying to hold on. He's completely walled off the main base as well, which means the natural is forfeit. Means he can't bring any units from the main down here without blinking, of course, but...
It's a little bit rough. It's kind of like a micro practice at the moment for Firefly because it's just a game of numbers. There's so much more army here for MacSed, and he's continuing to target down individual units trying to drive the point home here, and he's starting to dwindle a little bit on the forces, don't get me wrong. But, you know, even after the cleanup, 11 probes have just gone down here. And there we go, GG, and MacSed will take game number 1.
Certainly will. The old man still got it. Gets 1-0 to start things off with in the series for Group B. Puts him on match point here. It's Firefly, who is a young, up-and-coming Chinese player who's actually qualified for WCS Challenger before. I remember watching him in NA a little while ago with my buddies, casting that over in the Los Angeles studio back when WCS was a thing. Of course, we have our new EPT overlords now, ESL and DreamHack, bringing us the new freshness, the new hotness that is our StarCraft esport.
Yeah.
And yeah, we are going to see here if Firefly can tie things up. He definitely has a skill for it. Obviously, you know, a pretty solid start to this game with this play here from Firefly. That was actually, honestly, a little bit of a mistake from MacSed rather than a great play from Firefly. Letting those Stalkers out a little bit too far. But the good stuff here from Firefly is that he managed to get adepts into mineral lines and also just target fire down probes during the battle. And this was a lovely bit of harassment damage as well. I think he got 5 here in the end from memory.
Yeah. Pretty good start for him, honestly, getting a few worker kills there, but just not quite prepared enough for this attack. Maybe just not the right equipment to deal with it. There was few Immortals here for both players, but ultimately just too big of a swell of units from MacSed, just constantly, you know, 10-ish armies a play ahead. And with the adepts, the battle isn't always at the front. And I feel like Firefly was very much set up for that frontal engagement where you're relying on the shield batteries and a good positioning with the army. But when you can just circumvent that with those shades, the damage starts to rack up, it starts to get into your economy, and you're starting to have to split your army, and things go a little bit pear-shaped.
Yeah, and things certainly started to get pear-shaped here for young Firefly, those adepts. It took him a long time because the adepts, you know, they were engaging against a lot of structures. They were dealing with Immortals. They were dealing with things like, you know, cannons and pylons and shield batteries. And it takes an embarrassingly long time for adepts to kill structures, but it is a matter of time. They are technically doing damage to their structures, so they will eventually get them down, which we did see there. And I think that was off the back of just tons of probe damage. He just had too much of a macro machine to fail at that point. But anyway, that was game 1 of the series. We're going to take a short break. When we return, the potential last game of the evening. We hope not, though. And we'll see you then.
Too far. If there's one thing I know, we can move slow and we can run down the clock. Baby, I got time. 24 hours for you. And you're on my mind like all the time. I got 24 hours for you. Girl, you know that I just need 24 more. Stand up, baby, round of applause. For more, stand up, baby, round of applause. mind sharp like a razor blade. I'm a knockout, knockout. There's no doubt. I'm a champion. Got gold hanging from my neck. Lion's pride lives in my chest. Ain't no man put me to the test. Ain't no doubt that I'm the best. I'm a knockout, knockout. There's no doubt. I'm a champion. I'm a champion.
G'day, StarCraft fans. Welcome back to the DreamHack Summer China main event here. Switching over to Group B. And we are in the thick of it here with our first best of three and our only best of three from Group B for today. We're going to do more of it tomorrow. It is MacSed against the young buck Firefly, with the old man MacSed having a 1-0 lead. Mr. Above 30s Pro Gamer Wings of Liberty, Old Salt, coming on in here and smacking the boy around a little bit.
Yeah, it does make me a little happy. I've been a MacSed fan for a little while. I just don't get to cast him very often. And, I kind of like it when the old veteran is winning. But also, Firefly has made a name for himself. You mentioned his appearances in the Alima League and starting to be a bit of an up-and-comer. I think is on that little fact sheet we get. He's a rising star in China. I can definitely see why. He's had some great runs in tournaments, starting to get some good results. So, maybe now's his time to shine in this new EPT format. If he can get out of this group, I don't know. That's a pretty good start.
Absolutely. I think it's possible as well. If his PvP is good enough to beat MacSed, there are, two other Protosses in this group. It's a 3 Protoss, 1 Zerg group. So, PvP is the key to success here, I feel, for a lot of players as far as they're concerned. But of course, that 1 Zerg is a little bit scary. Jaishi is no slouch, but we're getting amongst it, friends. The countdown has begun. That means that esports is coming around the corner. So get excited. It is going to be a PvP game 2 here between MacSed and Firefly. And just to talk about Firefly a little bit more, he is a very hard worker. I see him in a lot of the online tournaments. In the time zone permitting, of course. Chinese and the Australian/Korean region are relatively close. It's a couple hours difference between China and us, but Korea and Australia is obviously very, very close. So we get to see a lot of this region play if their tournaments are being broadcasted in a place where we can actually watch them.
That's right. So now loading into Eternal Empire down in the bottom left, currently leading 1-0 in the series. This is MacSed.
Yeah. Match point here against this fella in the top right. The young buck in the red. It is China's Firefly. He's, of course, on Dragon Phoenix Gaming against MacSed, who's been represented by Invictus Gaming for a long time.
Yeah. I actually wonder how many years it's been. Because how there's that award for, who's it, TLO being on the one team for a decade?
Yeah, I mean, I think TLO actually is, across all esports, is the longest standing player with team in esports. I think he actually, because StarCraft 2 has been around for a very, very long time. It's been relevant for, 10 years. And Tilo was a pickup almost immediately from Team Liquid. He's one of their first players. And not only that, he has been active this whole time. So he's an active pro gamer for Team Liquid. Tej has been around on Team Liquid for a long time as well, but there was a couple of years where he wasn't playing. TLO has really just not stopped the magic. He's a can't stop, won't stop. He's like the Pringle can Zerg. He just... he's popped, and he won't stop. It's the StarCraft all day, every day for Dr. Dario, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, so I just had a cheeky peek, and MacSed's actually been on Invictus since 2011.
Not bad. Not quite
so,
TLO,
yeah.
but not bad.
He's on his way to that really long-standing team award, kind of like how we had that award in GSL for like, what is it, 10 consecutive seasons or something?
The Nesty Award, yep. So
Yeah, the
Dia
Nesty
got
Award.
it today.
Yeah, that's true actually. So yeah, that's pretty cool support for a player who's been around for a long time, and clearly he's still doing well here. So 1-0 up, match point. That's a great start to the group if you can seal the deal here, because you got a lot more PvP to play as well. And when you're coming up against the guy that you tend to be a bit back and forth with in PvPs, that actually matters a lot.
Certainly does. Both players, I think, have the, it's not a question of skill here. I think both players definitely have the ability to defeat each other. But it was kind of like the strategy from MacSed sort of caught Firefly unawares for the most part. And it's hilarious, but the Sentry is going to win that fight if MacSed sticks around, thanks to the shield battery.
Doesn't make a lot of sense. So both players getting a little bit of scouting information done with those adepts early on here and going for the expansion. This is where we start to see the builds divert a little bit though, as straight away Firefly is looking towards that Twilight Council tech. See what he goes with that. Goes for that, and actually also grabbing the Forge there, so quick +1.
Yep, looks like it. I actually think this might be Blink from Firefly.
Yeah.
He likes these Blink Stalkers. So it's something like, in PvP, the kind of the ultimate PvP army is considered to be like Charge Lot, Immortal Archon. But there are definitely Protosses that like to go Blink first before they get into Charge and trying to make magic happen. And then there are the really cool Protosses. I'm talking about the ones that wear leather jackets and rebel against the system. Those Protosses are the ones that go Blink and Disruptor. Now, those are my favorites.
Yeah, I think this is like a style that someone like Blisk plays a little bit with the Blink and the +1 early on. You can go into a third base, and then you start adding on your Robo stuff, your Charge, your Immortals, and then further down the track again, you can start throwing in those Disruptors if that's where the game's headed. But yeah, you have to still contend with what your opponent is doing, and judging by MacSed dropping down his own Forge, it looks like maybe a bit more mid-gamey here.
Yeah, Blink as well. Good wall off there from Firefly, stopping the Adepts from shading into the main base. I think those Adepts going in, when you have that many Adepts, they actually just don't die. they take a long time to die, and they can just kill 1,000 probes. And yeah, maybe you'll lose 4, maybe you lose 5, but a good chunk of them will still shade away, and you'll lose like at least 12 probes. So this gateway for Firefly is continuing to block this location. You see he's trying to rally probes in the natural. There's that cancel. Starts it again. He's really terrified here. It looks like his wall-off might be a little bit incorrect, so they have to use this gateway.
Yeah,
Or maybe he's just afraid of this many Adepts just cutting down. Oh, actually, I think it's just he thinks these Adepts can actually just shoot down a pylon/shield battery. He needs the extra hit points.
Yeah. So interesting how these builds match up here, because MacSed is the one getting a quicker third. I kind of envisioned Firefly going for the third first, but since he has the quicker Blink and the quicker +1 here, he can actually start pressuring MacSed, and I'm not sure that MacSed, if Firefly really commits to a little bit of a poke or a little bit of aggression across the other side of the map, if MacSed can actually hold on to that third base because he's a little bit behind on that tech.
I mean, we'll see. There is a third base going down for both players here. They're getting into the mid game pretty comfortably. MacSed is heading towards the model production. Doesn't have any just yet. There's one 2/3 of the way done. Obviously, that'd be pretty amazing here against the Blink Stalker army. He does have... no, I don't think that Firefly can take this fight. There's sentries and a shield battery here. Guardian Shield as well as a Shield Battery means no bueno here for those Stalkers.
Yeah. Nice little shade there from the Adepts from MacSed on the other side of the map. He's going to find a pretty naked natural. Uh-oh.
Yeah, quick recall there from Firefly. He will get rid of the Adepts, but not before bleeding out a bunch of probes. It was a very deliberate target fire there from MacSed as well to make sure the Adepts are fighting probes, not Stalkers. And he gets 9. Oh my god.
Yes.
And if Firefly was German, that's exactly what he'd be saying right now.
Yeah. That's rough because MacSed also has the earlier third, don't forget. So he's making probes 3 at a time and just running away with that work account, heading straight into the +2 charge. He's getting some more immortals in the mix as well. But Firefly likewise has similar tech and he's pulling the same trick, trying to get a couple of Adepts in here and get some probes of his own. And he's actually pulled that army out of position as Firefly moves up.
I'm actually getting, you know, Firefly is going for what looks to be just a giant blink all in. And he's getting a lot of gateways. He has no other tech. You know, we're not seeing any immortals from him. There's no, you know, Templar Archives or Archons. There's no charge. So it is just blink Stalkers against a guy that's getting towards charge that has immortals. And for me, that feels like a mistake from Firefly. Like, I know blink Stalkers have a lot of utility, but you need something else. There's the Templar Archives. All right, I'm pleased to see that.
Few more probes going to get killed on either side. The Stalkers now poking in at this natural base will cancel the building, at least one building, I should say. And MacSed pokes him away. He's got that gateway up towards the north. There's a quick warp-in point as well. So if he cleans this up and wants to pressure... Ooh, not great for Firefly there.
Yeah, unfortunate. MacSed gets some good trades. You know, MacSed has also, again, been teching up a lot faster. He has charge. He has immortals. His army is bigger and better. And, ooh, that blink has already been fired from Firefly. So he loses a sentry and a stalker on the retreat there as well. Ah, man, I'm really worried for Firefly here. He still only has blink and a warp prism. Like, he started a Templar Archives that's finished. He can get Archons, I guess, but he doesn't have charge. I think that's a mistake at this point because he's warping in Zealots. I think he thinks he has charge or he started it.
Yeah, the build isn't making a whole lot of sense. Like, the flow of it is just something's missing. And there we see Zaner highlighting the fact that, yeah, MacSed has charge and Firefly does not. And MacSed also has 3 immortals on the front lines here, and he's coming in for a big attack as the force fields right away. The Zealots get melted there for Firefly.
He does get the Prism in the back of the natural, though, at least. Can he win the fight at third base? I mean, this immortal advantage is absolutely massive for MacSed. He doesn't have the ability to reinforce this position, which is the one caveat there for this battle, but I don't know if he'll need to. The pro's being pulled off the line. A slow Zealot's just jumping into the meat grinder. Oh, there's actually a proxy warp gate. I'm sorry about that, but there's actually a proxy warp gate at 11 o'clock, which MacSed's using to warp in and walk into the battle. It's not, you know, first-class tickets on a warp prism, but it's still pretty good. Economy will still get you from A to B, Zeph.
Yeah, and he's still taking the better trades here, and he's right on top of those Stalkers, which are really the only money units that Firefly has. So he's microing his heart out here and using those shield batteries to the best of his ability. But with 3 immortals still available, the damage is incredible. And it looks like MacSed is poised to take game number 2 here. He takes out the pylon, taking out all kinds of structures here because he's just got too much for Firefly to handle.
Yeah, I think Firefly missed charge there, and I don't think that was deliberate. His army is just nowhere near powerful of MacSed's, and what we prophesized has come to pass. Like, it's just not as good an army as MacSed's, and folds just like that. The old man's going to take the 2-0, and Firefly is going to have to go to a losers match to figure things out.